Hello, Torah community. It's Rav Natan here to share with you some words of Torah for this week's Parsha, Parshat Teitzei. It's been a long time since we've had the chance to learn together, to share Divrei Torah. So looking forward to doing it this week and going forward. In this Parsha, there's a lot of things. It's kind of like a chulent of mitzvot and of halachot. One theme of many that seems to be in this Parsha is the mitzvah to remember certain events. One example is the mitzvah to remember what happened to Miriam. What happened to Miriam? Well, if you remember back to Sefer Bamidbar in Parshat Baalotcha, Miriam was stricken with tzarat because she spoke to Aaron about Moshe. It was kind of like a lashon hara, and that event we want to remember. Later in the Parsha, towards the end, a psukim that we read on Purim, or before Purim, for Parshat Zachor, is the mitzvah to remember what happened with Amalek. We're leaving Mitzrayim, Amalek attacks us from behind, we win, Hashem helps us win, and we have a mitzvah to remember. Now, each one of these events has their own lesson, and I'm not going to delve so deeply into them. But the question is, why not just say, remember to not speak lashon hara? Okay, you could say that, and I know what lashon hara is. I know not to speak it. If the Torah says don't speak lashon hara, I will think about that and I'll do that. Or say, hey, beware of your enemies. They could attack at any time. You got to remember, if you're a Jewish nation, you could have enemies. They could attack, and you got to be prepared. Why does the Torah feel the need to give me the event? Remember the event. Not just do the thing, but remember this event. This thing happened, and that's the way we're supposed to be reminded to do the action. I think there's a very powerful message about the way we can learn Torah, which is that when we learn Torah and we read through a story or something happening, it's easier to kind of say, that story, that happened then, that happened a long time ago, and now there's me sitting here 2022, it's September, I'm living my life. But what the Torah is telling us in this Parsha is, those events, Miriam's tzarat, Amalek, thousands of years ago, those are relevant right here, right now. And when I'm thinking about how to speak to somebody, it's not just a law. It's a law that comes from a story and an event with people that Hashem taught us to be able to guide us in those moments. And so my bracha to myself and to all of us is that when we learn both this Parsha and future Parshiot, we're learning Chumash in general, Torah in general, that we really are saying this event, this story, instructive not just back then, but to me right now, that it's speaking to me in my life and the moments that I have and the challenges that I have. And I can learn from that here and now. Shabbat Shalom.